Dr. Candy Crest, and you're watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese.
Hot Facts with Robert Reese, people. Right here in front of a Target, right here behind me. Check this out. Whoo-wee. Biden is about to do something for gig drivers because we got some shady people out there. Check this out. Over in Denver and Colorado, you have businesses acting like DoorDash and Uber Eats, and they're hiring staff to bust the dishes and clean the tables and things like that. And they're putting them on like they're independent contractors, and they ain't getting no benefits or nothing. They're not making the pay, and they are depending fully on tips. Okay? We got some crazy stuff going on. It's happening all over. Big grocery stores like this, they're on the apps. But other grocery stores, the smaller ones, the mom and pop ones, they're utilizing and they're making people work. And guess what? Jeff Thomas Black, people go ahead and check him out. App Slave, the government and how it's being ran right now as far as the business-wise part of the government, the companies are now treating everybody that does a gig job as an app slave. Is this right? I don't think so. California, we got something put in place, Proposition 22, and it seems to be working for us. We want to help out everybody in the gig world. We can't help everybody without us helping each other. We got to vote in things. Take a look at this next clip from Yahoo in full. Watch this. Pay attention. Gig economy, things need to change. Check this out.
Then can this be enforced? Or I guess the question is, how does enforcement look like in this particular case when you consider how wide and how big the gig economy is today?
Well, we certainly do need a lot more enforcement resources than we presently have. The U.S. Department of Labor Wage and Hour Division, which enforces the minimum wage law and overtime, as well as child labor and other laws, only has around 700 something investigators for the entire country, which is around 400 fewer than they had in the late 1970s. So we really need a lot more enforcement resources. State and local enforcement agencies are also similarly under-resourced. At the same time, they can still take action and make a big difference in this area. For example, as I wrote about in the op-ed, Denver Labor, which is a city and county labor enforcement office in Denver, Colorado, recently issued citations to 2 gig companies that were hiring workers. It was astonishing to me when I learned about it. They were hiring workers in restaurants, doing jobs like prep cook and busboys and dishwashers, hiring them as independent contractors instead of as employees. And again, if you go back to what these laws, what this means, it means those workers don't have the right to minimum wage. If they're servers, they don't have a legal right to get the tips people have left for them. They don't have a right to a safe workplace. These are very serious deprivations of people's rights. And the notion that a dishwasher in a restaurant is running their own small business is kind of, ludicrous on its face. And to me, and why I was inspired to write the op-ed in the New York Times is that, this sort of shows the spread of this model to far beyond drivers or delivery workers or much higher paid knowledge and creative workers to really areas where we've never seen it before: restaurants, warehouses. I found websites doing some Googling where there were healthcare apps that were hiring nurses, hospital janitors. There's an education app that bills itself as being like DoorDash, except you get to work with kids. And so you just see this spread throughout the economy. And it's really concerning when you think about the fact that it means that workers, by doing this, companies are trying to ensure they don't have to pay minimum wage or, comply with the laws that every other employer has to follow, including our tax laws.
If you would like to know more about what really goes on in the gig economy, do exactly what the next clip says.